Hello, ORTESOL. My name is Jen Sacklin, and I'm happy to be presenting my website with you today. So a little bit of context first. I made a website for my students for this term, spring 2021. I am teaching level 2 ESL at Lane Community College. Level 2 is in our community English program, which is for primarily resident students or people who are living in Lane County for the long haul. And level 2 is one of our lowest levels. Occasionally we offer a level 1 and a level 0, but sometimes level 2 is the catch-all beginner level. So students' oral abilities range from low beginner to quite high beginner, and same with their literacy levels and digital literacy skills. So I created a website for students to be able to have instantaneous feedback on some listening and reading activities outside of class. I was going to use the word interaction, but H5P activities don't really provide any human-to-human interaction, but what they do is they give students an instant answer whether they got something correct or incorrect. So in the class, we use Ventures 1 as our student book, and students also have the workbook version, and both of these do have some listening activities. So there are QR codes that students can scan in order to get access to some video content. But I was concerned that here in Zoom land, students don't get a lot of listening practice, and Ventures doesn't provide a ton of reading practice in the book. So I wanted to give students more content outside of class, almost asynchronous learning opportunities. Although, like I said, there's no real interaction for the asynchronous activities. So I think that's all I wanted to share about the context of the class. Oh, one more thing. I made a Google site because here at Lane, we use Moodle as our LMS, but access to Moodle requires fairly high tech skills. And since several of my students have very low tech skills, I didn't want access to the activities to be a barrier. I will be teaching students how to access Moodle so that they're prepared for the next class, but I did not want that to be a very frustrating experience at the beginning of our class. So that's why everything is on this Google site. So the Google site here is what students see, well, sort of. This is technically an ORTESOL version of the site because I deleted a few things that weren't super necessary for you all to hear. But basically the site has three things: Tuesday conversation videos, Wednesday reading practice, Thursday computer homework. And it's linked here. It's here at the top in the menu, and it's also here. So the general structure of the class is that we have class on Zoom for 2 hours on Monday night and 2 hours on Wednesday night. And so between class on Monday and Wednesday, students watch a conversation video and in order to prepare for class on Wednesday, because the first half hour of class on Wednesday is them conversing with each other and sometimes with classroom volunteers and sometimes with myself. But generally, it's a small group student-led conversations. After the conversation time is over, we switch to a lot of reading practice. And so I've linked all of the readings to the student website so that students can revisit it after class if they want. In general, I don't record the Zoom meetings. And then after class on Wednesday, I want them to have English review, again, listening and reading practice. And so that's where there's what I've called for them computer homework, but the H5P activities. So this is where the meat of the website is, and this is why I wanted to present it at ORTESOL. I've finished weeks 1 through 7. Weeks 8, 9, and 10 are not done yet, so you don't get to see it yet. But basically, you could go to any one of these, and there's a bunch of different vocab. There are some reading practice, some listening practice, dictation practice for listening and spelling, and then a little bit of writing as well. And the topic of this is always tied to the reading we did that week. So the Wednesday reading for week 1 was Don't catch a cold. This is from the Ventures textbook, and I added COVID materials as well. And the reading skill was learning how to read charts. So when we go to the Thursday reading practice, there's some vocab related to colds and COVID. Then there's looking at the exact same chart that we looked at in class, but give students more time to look at it after class and answer some questions related to the chart, as well as a listening and some dictation, and then some writing that students submit to me. You'll notice as you go through the website that I've made some ORTESOL notes. So for example, under the Tuesday conversation videos, students see one video per week. And they're usually made with my friends. And since the friends share a lot of personal information, I've deleted them from the website. I'm just including one here as an example with Delaney Ibarra, who is a PSU practicum student helping out in my class. Besides, you don't need to see any of the rest of the videos because you can't use them in your class. They're very specific to me in my class. However, you totally can use the Wednesday readings that I've included here. Some I did delete for copyright. If you're not using Ventures 1, you shouldn't be using those specific readings. But all of the readings that are here, either I made or I adapted from an OER that Tim Krause wrote. And you can feel free to copy these as well, use them in your own classes, adapt them. And then same with the H5P activities. You can go to any one of these and you can copy the H5P activities either by reusing it, copying it directly, or you can, let's say, or sorry, embedding it would be copying it directly. Reusing it, you can download the H5P file and then edit it at your leisure. All right, I think that's it. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed this conference.